pressure on you. But there's a little pressure. All right, Coach, like always, if you want to go ahead and start us off with an opening statement, and then we'll take questions.
Well, excited to get the win and get everybody, all 13 people on the roster, into the game tonight for at least 4 minutes. So it felt like a game where your young players in your program and kids that aren't always rewarded for their hard work got to play tonight. We called it a redemption game coming tonight. We did not play well in Clarksville last year. We were really disappointed with our performance, and we wanted to redeem ourselves, and we were fired up to go into this game to redeem ourselves, and then we came out flat. So I can't explain it, because we felt like we had the right game plan. We had a motivation because we didn't play well there last year, and for the first 9 minutes was a really disappointing effort. We were down by as many as 7, but over that last 11 minutes of the first half, found a way to outscore them by 23. Really ended on a high note that last 4 minutes of the half, and made, I think, our last 5 shots of the first half to give us a comfortable lead and regroup at halftime and try to figure out why we started slowly tonight. A lot of individual performances were strong. Was happy with the way Lex Rogers played, certainly. Was terrific in stretches offensively. I thought people came off the bench. Allison Pappenfuss gave us really good minutes. And again, it's nice to be able to play your whole roster. So with a one-day prep behind us and coming up now, to be able to get some of the people out in the second half, I think will do us a great deal of benefit going into Sunday's game.
Will you talk a little bit about the offensive adjustments you made out of that second timeout?
Yeah, you know, they had been showing 3 different ways to guard ball screens. And we rolled the dice in practice 2 of the 3 a great deal over the last 48 hours. And, of course, they chose to guard us the 3rd way. And that's my responsibility as a coach to have them prepared. And despite talking about it, I rolled the dice not to practice as much with the way they ended up guarding us. And I just don't think we were as prepared as we could have been, and that's my responsibility, and I take blame for that. But again, there was a story behind the scenes for us to play better, because we were frustrated with our play last year there, and I was disappointed with being flat. With that said, I thought once we were able to talk about how they were guarding us and what was open, even though we still continued to miss shots for a little bit, we knew what was going to be open and the type of shots we were going to get. And eventually we started making some of those shots and making some of those reads.
You knew Lex Rogers was going to be able to play at this level. After the slow start, were you a little concerned? Now you're seeing the person you thought you were getting when she transferred.
I was concerned because I didn't feel I was doing my job of putting her in position to be successful. And so there was a little bit of tweak by the coaching staff to find her better shots. It was a learning curve for us to figure out where Lex is most comfortable scoring the basketball. And then she has to take ownership to make some of the shots that we were getting for her and we thought she was capable of making. She has really held up her end of the bargain. She started to make a lot of plays and been aggressive, looking for her offense. There's at times I still think she could dominate even more, but she's an unselfish player and doesn't always demand the ball every single time down the floor. But I think she's more comfortable and she's playing better. We're more comfortable with what she does on the floor and getting her in better positions. So it's an evolving process, but certainly I was a little worried the first couple games on what am I doing wrong, because this is a really talented player that we can't seem to get going. And it's really fun to watch her play when she gets going.
You mentioned that she can dominate. I mean, she did that there a little bit, posted up and showed a variety of ways to score there at the latter part of the first half. I mean, that's what you were hoping for.
Absolutely. You know, she's a tough matchup because she can stretch you by outside shooting. You have a bad closeout, she can drive by you. She's strong enough to post inside. If you guard her with slow people inside, she usually will power it around you. I think she could get to the foul line even more than she does. And, you know, it's still a learning curve. I mean, essentially, with the lack of playing time at Duke her freshman year and sitting out last year, I view her as almost a freshman in college basketball. And so it's fun to see her coming around quickly. And she would have had a monster game tonight if we would have had to play her those last 12 minutes of the game, which we didn't.
Will you talk a little bit about the three-point shooting? I mean, the number isn't good. Did you feel they were good looks that weren't falling? Or
I wanted them to have fun. As the lead stretched out, I wanted them to take open shots. I wanted them to take what was given to them. And they were daring us at times to shoot some threes. I didn't think our balance was always great. I think we had happy feet. I think there were some kids that weren't what we call ready shooters. And so the percentage is very low tonight. Ironically, with that many of attempts, all you have to do is make 2 or 3 more, and all of a sudden it looks like you shot the ball really well. And so, it's that fine line. But, we played a lot of people, a lot of nerves and jitters out of there for some kids that haven't played. And all of a sudden you're calling a play that's going to lead to a 3-point shot if it's executed. And we just didn't get a lot to drop tonight, which, in the big picture concerns me, but I think it's correctable. I think that we can have better balance. I think we can try to score those in better rhythm.
You mentioned giving everybody the play. It seems like the starters are comfortable with that, knowing that you have the lead, that they're very enthusiastic on the bench when their teammates are in the game. Do you see that?
Well, I think that's the sign through the years of our camaraderie and our teamwork and our chemistry behind the scenes. They know how hard the other kids work day in and day out in practice. They live those moments after games where you win and some of your teammates don't play as much or don't play at all and their number's not called. And they're great teammates because they're proud for the team that they have won. But there's no doubt, there's always that feeling, well, I wish I could contribute. I wish I could play. So when you have a game when you can get everybody in and the starters know that, they're getting, the bench is getting their time and rewarded for all their hard work and energy too, you see good teams really, really support each other. And I think you saw that tonight from our starters. They were really genuinely excited, for our kids that haven't played as much. We ran a play in the last 30 seconds of the game to try to get Shaniqua a basket, and it worked, and she executed well, the team executed well, and there was a true, genuine excitement from everybody on the bench that for Shaniqua, but also for those kids to execute a play like we drew up.
will you talk a little bit about the turnovers and steals, especially the steals number for this team this year? And what has led this team to so many steals?
I want to be a better defensive team, but I said coming into the year, despite losing a terrific defender and Lauren and seniors that know how to play, that I believe this team was going to have to win with defense. And we're a little bit more athletic, we're a little bit longer in certain positions, and this team has been getting their hands on balls right now, and I'm not a big person in steals. I personally don't like that stat line. I think it can be misleading because you gamble and you're off balance, but it certainly has helped us, and our post players are getting lots of deflections. Between Danielle and Lex, they're getting a lot of steals, and you've always seen Chrissy be able to get in the passing lane. So I really am pleased with our defense, but I think we can be even better. But I'm pleased with where we're at, and we just got to keep plugging. This is a team that was scoutable. They run sets, they run patterns, and I think our team did a nice job disrupting those patterns.
Any other questions? Okay. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.